to Police Superintendent Chris Aksomanak brought in 41-year-old British national Dax J. Young and a 17-year-old German who cannot be named due to his age to present to the press. They were allegedly involved and conspired together to sexually abuse underage boys that is under the age of 13. The older man was arrested at his home in Patong while the younger man was detained from his place in Rawai. They were arrested by officers from the Department of Special Investigation, or DSI. The young man has pleaded guilty to police on all charges, while the older suspect still denied the charges, even though many items have been seized as evidence for his illegal action. Also yesterday, the Phuket Governor Pricha Rongjan and Provincial Police Chief Apirak Hongtong announced the arrest of 5 suspects who were reported to be drug dealers. They were caught with 1,250 tablets of amphetamines and 200,000 baht cash seized as evidence along with other items. They were all charged with narcotic drug possession and for sale purposes. Phuket will get a new governor while Governor Pricha is moving to the northern province of Phitsanulok. The Thai cabinet on Tuesday has approved the reshuffle of 28 senior officials, mostly provincial governors and high-ranking posts under the Ministry of Interior. Phuket Governor Pricha Rongjan is on the list. Mr. Pricha is scheduled to depart Phuket on Saturday for his new assignment as governor of the northern province of Phitsanulok, as announced on Tuesday. He will be replaced by former Phang Nga Governor Mr. Wichak Praisangop, who is currently holding the governor post of the central province of Singbury. Mr. Pricha assumed the Phuket governor's post in October last year, while Mr. Wichai was serving as Phang Nga Governor during October 2006 to September 2008, before being transferred to Singbury last October. Phuket held a meeting in preparation to welcome participants of ASEAN Education Ministers meeting scheduled to be held during the 5th to the 8th of April. Local governments in Phuket prepared to beautify and tidy up the roads in their respective areas to welcome and impress ministers and participants of the 44th Senior Council Conference, or CMEC, and the 4th ASEAN Education Ministers meeting, ASEAN, scheduled to be held at the Sheraton Grand Laguna in Phuket during April the 5th to the 9th. The Phuket Governor Pricha Rongjan held a meeting with responsible officials, including Deputy Permanent Secretary of Education Ministry, Mr. Surakul and representatives from governments. The meeting agreed that local students in a local yaya dress will be greeting the participants at the airport. This would show the guests' local dress and Phuket's identity. Local government are also requested to beautify the roads and premises alongside to provide for a pleasant scenery on the tourist resort island of Phuket. The meeting expects to host ministers from 10 ASEAN nations plus senior officials related to education. Exhibitions on educational work will also be on display. Meanwhile, the government admitted it is having difficulty finding rooms in Phuket to host the ASEAN +3+6 heads of states meeting as planned for the 10th to the 12th of April. So it may move the meeting to Pattaya instead. A decision will be made in the next few days. Krabi authorities inspect price labels to ensure consumers are treated fairly. In an attempt to make sure that consumers are not exploited amidst the economy setback, the Krabi authority, led by Vice Governor Charlotte Pino Ratanachar, along with Subcommittee for Consumer Protection, inspected and checked on price labels for goods made available in supermarkets. They encourage and make sure that sellers and operators strictly follow the law for consumers' rights and protection. The Vice Governor said the team will continue to check on the matter to ensure that consumers are treated fairly in this difficult time of economy downturn. The Overguard Phuket International Rugby 10s 2009 will be held at Surakul Stadium instead of Karon Stadium.
Teams from all over the world competing.
Patrick Cotter of Phuket Vagabonds Rugby Club informed Andaman News that the entries for the Overguard Phuket International Rugby 10s 2009 for the Clive Williamson Memorial Trophy are almost complete, with only one space available in the main competition of 25 teams. Defending champions, the Kukri Badgers from the UK, will again be there this year. The Coffin Dodgers Veterans competition is almost full. The bets will begin with all the group games being played on Friday the 29th of May, with the finals being played on Sunday the 31st of May. The main competition will be played over the Saturday and Sunday. They've also changed the venue this year to the Surakul Stadium in Phuket town, which has a better quality field and due to the lack of grass at Kalam Stadium. 25% of the team's entry fees will be going into their Orphan Scholarship Fund, run in conjunction with the Asia Center Foundation. They raised close to 700,000 baht at last year's event. More details on the new website, www.phuketRugby10s.com.